Welcome to the Foresters pregame show presented by Coastal Copy, and we are joined by Bill Pintar today. Skip, how we feeling? How you doing?
We're good. Beautiful day. Playing against the Academy Barons. They're a good club. I think they're in third place in our league, and it's the best team they've had in a while. So it'll be a good, beautiful day to have a good ball game.
Before we take a look at today's game, Coach, back on Sunday, career win 1,200. What does that mean for you? Getting it on the road at SLO and also really just picking up with this team this past Sunday.
Well, most important, the 1,200 win, I had no idea till the morning of, and so it was nice to do it against a rival. And it was also my son's birthday, Eric. And so it was really nice to get a win for Eric on that day. Meant a lot. That meant more than the 1,200. 1,200 it just means I've been around a long time and we've had a good, we got a good program. We win a lot, and yeah, it was amazing though. It's kind of like, how old am I? And there you go. How many wins I have? Wow. So it was pretty good, but I do remember my 100th. I remember the 12 of them. Uh, the 1,000th one was in Wichita, and I think it was our 100th win in Wichita. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it was very cool, and we have a great group of guys, and it was great to win that with this group of guys because you remember the teams that have the best character and they're most fun to be around. Those are the teams you win. You love. You don't really, because they were the best or they had the best record or any of that stuff. It's good character people. And that's what we have. That's what I said after the game. I feel fortunate that I get to coach them every day, and was grateful for that.
Coach, you mentioned Eric and what your team does with the Hugs for Cubs. Can you just elaborate a little bit on the Hugs for Cubs and what it means year in and year out to be a Forester?
Well, the Hugs for Cubs was a program. My son was one of the youngest pitchers on the Foresters when he was diagnosed with a terminal cancer called ependymoma. And at that time, there was no cure at all for it. And the longest life expectancy was 3 years. And so all the players banded together and put EP19 on the back of the hats. And if you notice now, we put the initials on the back of our hats, either for Hugs for Cubs kid or somebody dear to our programs fighting cancer. And so the year I took over, I said, "Hey, Eric, you guys want to put your initials on the back of the hat?" And he says, "Well, I'm kicking cancer's rear end right now, and Dad, actually, we need to put another kid." To tell you the truth, Dad, there's not a lot of stuff for young cancer victims to do in town, so we started doing a fishing day and a surf camp, and made visits to the hospital, and we have a visit to the hospital coming up in July, and we'll do that. And then one year, every road trip, if we spent the night, we would go to the hospital in that town. And then we had a big 2-hour visit in Wichita every year. Try to spread a little bit of cheer to the Hugs for Cubs kids and the kids that are battling pediatric diseases.
And Coach, when we take a look at the baseball side of things, right now your team's 13-1. My final question to you is, how have you had so much success so far this season?
Well, I think first of all, we had probably more practice days than we have ever had, but we didn't have our full team here. But early in the season, they were able to see our style of play, and they bought in because it is a fun style. And we had success early in games, and that puts a damper on the crowds when we go on road, but it also gives our guys energy. And then we were adding on with some power in the middle part of the game, and then just trying to close it out. I'm a firm believer, like if you're bunting early in the game and getting momentum's something, everything in baseball, and then you add on to that. And also teams, when we get ahead of other teams, they have a tendency to press a little bit and panic a little bit because we have so many weapons. We can push, we can drag, we can hit and run, we can steal bases. and we can hit a few out of the park. But that's the power home runs has not been our calling card so far this year, but we got plenty of guys that can do it. I mean, some days we got 1 through 9 that can all hit home runs. So I'm waiting for that to kick in.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time. Anything last words before the first pitch?
No, I think we're gonna finally have we have 2 more pitchers coming. One of them started in the College World Series last night, Waslowski, and he started last night, and he pitched really well, and he's going to be a Forester here in about a week. And then we're getting a big power arm from Texas. He'll be here Friday, and that should round us up.
Awesome, Coach. Looking forward to the game today, and first pitch coming up right after this. Welcome to Santa Barbara and a CCL Baseball on the Foresters Broadcast Network. Today, the Foresters kick off a 6-game homestand as they welcome in the MLB Academy Barons for the second time this season. Well, I'm Hunter Shoemake, and we welcome you to Santa Barbara High School, and let's take a look back to Sunday for the Foresters. The Sturs went on the road up to San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara won their 13th game of the season, their 9th straight, taking down the Slow Blues 6-2. And Bill Pintard on Father's Day picked up career win number 1,200 with the Santa Barbara Foresters. What a game for the Foresters. They have now won 9 straight games, and they are taking on this MLB Academy Barons team that enters today 7-6, their overall record. Jack Fowler gets the ball on the hill, the left-hander. 4th start of the year for Jack, and he'll be facing this lineup for the MLB Academy Barons. Leading off in center field, Eiji Sawamura. Batting second in right field, Chip Mertz. Batting third, the shortstop, David Aguirre. In the cleanup spot at third base, Nathaniel Williams. Batting fifth and at first base, Jason Del Villar. Batting sixth, the DH, Nigel Buckley. In the 7th spot and in left field, Antonio Lujan. At the 8th spot, doing the catching, Isaac Ocampo, and Israel Espinosa is the number 9 batter. He will be at second base. Another gorgeous day from Santa Barbara. There were some gray skies earlier today. It is cleared off, and a picture-perfect day from Eddie Matthews Field with the Foresters kicking off a 6-game homestand. Eiji Sawamura will lead it off for the MLB Academy Barons. Second meeting of the year between the two teams. They first met back on the 13th. That's when Santa Barbara walked it off in the 9th, courtesy of Luke Cornelison. And the Sturs won it 6-5 over the Barons the first meeting of the year. The teams meet 4 times this season. So Jack Fowler, the left-hander from Pepperdine, gets us underway. Strike 1 on Sawamura. Actually, both starters, southpaws today, the pitching matchup, Gabe Lopez for the Barons and Jack Fowler on the hill for the Sturs. And so far this season for Jack, 2.53 ERA. He's got a 1-0 record. And he's pitched the most innings on anyone on the staff this year for the Foresters. Away at the knees, 1-2. Sawamura hitting .333 entering today. He's been really good at getting on base, setting the table for the rest of this Barons lineup. That is the third-ranked team in the CCL currently. But Santa Barbara in the CCL, the hottest team in the league, winning their last 9 games. And Jack Fowler has been so solid on the hill this season. Sawamura making Fowler work for first man he faces. Fowler's last outing was on the 16th, last Tuesday, against the Conejo Oaks. And the counts run full. Pitch number 8 coming up on this plate appearance from Sawamura. That is ball 4. What a plate appearance to start the ball game for the Barons. After 2 quick strikes from Fowler, 6 pitches later, it's a leadoff walk. One on, nobody out. Here's Chip Mertz. Chip hitting .233 entering this ball game. That's on the edge, strike 1. So with the 2 teams meeting back on the 16th, rather, on the 13th. It was a back and forth game, even though the Forsters had a 2-0 lead entering the 6th inning. Barons never went away. Ended up having a couple run advantage entering the final inning. Luke Cornelison was able to walk it off and give the Forsters their first walk-off of the season. It's now 0-2 on Mertz. Runners on the move, a strikeout at the plate, the throw down to second. Gets into center field, and Sawamura is able to swipe second. Mertz goes down swinging, 1 away. We can take a look at the defense today for the Sturs. Landon Schaefer is at third. Sawyer Farr is at short. Chris Newstrom at second base. Nick Salmon back at the first station. Aiden Camberg does the catching. Cole Chamberlain starts in left. Makani Nabarro in center. Kurt Ippolito in right. Sawamura in scoring position with 1 down. Good breaking pitch to David Aguirre. 0-1. Now it's now 1-1 on Aguirre. And Fowler having to keep tabs on Sawamura over at second base after the walk, stolen bag. The MLB Academy Barons an opportunity to plate the first run in this ball game. Strike 2. For Jack Fowler, 3-pitch mix. Rides the fastball a lot, 57% of the time. Throws his heater, tops out at 89. Works in a curveball, who he's been able to locate for a strike already. Occasional slider and changeup, but primarily fastball and curveball for Fowler. What does he go to here? Breaking ball is guy down the left field line, out of play. Remains 1-2. And already the Academy Barons putting together quality plate appearances against the starting left-hander. An 8-pitch walk started off the ball game. Sawamura was quickly in the hole, 0-2. Nearly hits him. Evens the count. And he left early. Caught in a rundown. Great play from Jack Fowler. 2 out. Heads up from Jack Fowler. He was keeping tabs. And Sawamura caught flat-footed. So the base is now clear. And the count is 2-2 on Aguirre. Fly ball to left. Chamberlain is there. And Jack Fowler just has to face the minimum. Works around the leadoff walk through a half scoreless. Forster bats coming up.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Bottom of the first inning. Here's the lineup today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off at short, Sawyer Farr. Batting second in right, Kurt Ippolito. Batting third and in left field, Cole Chamberlain. In the cleanup spot at second base, Chris Newstrom. Batting fifth and at first base, Nick Salmon. Out of the sixth hole and at third base, Landon Schaefer. Makani Nabarro bats seventh in center field, batting eighth. And the DH, Addison Klepsch, out of the ninth spot and doing the catching, Aiden Camberg. And the Foresters facing a starting left-hander, Gabe Lopez. Third start of the year for Lopez. Did have one appearance in relief. He has been able to throw a lot of strikes early this season. 10 innings pitched, 2 walks to 11 strikeouts, and a 2.7 ERA. Scoreless game for Ippolito Chamberlain for the Foresters, and this is a Foresters team that has won 9 straight games. Just a single loss, and that was on June 11th. Off-speed misses away to Farr. The switch hitter, ball 1. And a perfect week last week, 6-0 for the Foresters. And that's into left field, and a leadoff single for the Foresters. And Sawyer Farr gets on in front of Ippolito. So now that the Foresters have their first base runner in Farr, 8 stolen bases already, the Foresters will look to exploit the running game here this afternoon. And for the Barons defense, they have been run on 28 times this season, and they've been only able to throw out 3 runners so far. So you have to imagine Farr is going to be on the move at some point. That's foul. Strike 1 on Ippolito. And even really, regardless of the opponent, the Foresters have the most stolen bases in the league at 61. The 61 stolen bases on 71 attempts. Far left early, down to second base, and they got him. It was Aguirre at short, able to put the tag down on far, and that eliminates a leadoff single. So the base is clear, one down. That's a strike on Ippolito, and he's in the hole. And Kurt leading the team in hits this season with 15, hitting .385. And Ippolito, throughout the season, has been so consistent wherever he has been in the lineup. Sunday's game was batting sixth, batting second today. Here's the 1-2. That's off the hill, deflects past Aguirre, and back-to-back singles now for the Foresters. With one down in the first.
Now batting, brought to you by Mesa Cafe. Number 44, Cole Chamberlain.
One-on-one out, it's Cole Chamberlain. So Cole gets the start today in left field. Breaking pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. So with the Foresters back-to-back singles to start the ball game, and the Stars picking up right where they left off last week, and Santa Barbara hitting .300 entering today. And that's on the infield. Espinoza without number 2. And to finish that thought, so the Foresters hitting .300 entering today. That is the best in the league, and their ability to also work walks and even just get hit by pitches, second to none. .440 OBP. That's the best on-base percentage by 37 points. So not even close in terms of who's been the best team at getting on base this year. It has been the Santa Barbara Foresters. So with 1 on 2 down, ball inside to Chris Newstrom. That's into right field. Third hit of the inning with 2 on and 2 down in the first.
Now batting, brought to you by Strength Happens. Number 15, Nick Salmon.
Remember, the ball game started with Farr. Was retired 1-3-6. And it's now Nick Salmon with 2 on and 2 out in the first. And the Foresters, an opportunity to bring home the first run of the ball game. Santa Barbara pushed in 1 run in the first meeting in the opening inning back on the 13th. We're leading 2-0 entering the 6th. Then the Barons got their first runs, and then we're actually leading into the bottom of the 7th. That's away, 1-1. And in that game on the 13th, the Barons actually out-hit the Foresters. We're +2 in the hit column, yet -1 in the final line score. 6-5 Foresters on the Cornelison walk-off. That's in there at 86, strike 2. For Lopez, rides his fastball the majority of the time. Sits right at 86. And occasionally works into secondary stuff. Curveball, changeup, and a slider.
There's the 1-2. And a strikeout ends the inning. The Foresters 3 hits, but nothing to show for after one, scoreless from Santa Barbara.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
On to the second Williams Del VR Buckley for the MLB Academy Barons. Scoreless game after one. Jack Fowler, a 17-pitch first inning, worked around a leadoff walk and a stolen base. Was able to retire Sawamura on the base pass and strike one on Nathaniel Williams. Leading off in the cleanup man. Team leading 17 hits this season, actually leading all hitters for the Foresters or the Barons. Big chopper, here's Schaefer. One down. If you're joining us late, the Forester defense, Schaefer is at third, Farr is at short, Newstrom at second, Salmon at first, Aiden Camberg does the catching, Chamberlain's in left, Nabarro in center, and Ippolito is in right. With one down, here's Jason Del VR. Curveball for a strike, 0-1. Del VR from Corona, California. Off the ankle, strike two. So Fowler, another two-strike count early on the Baron hitters. And today's ball game, an opportunity for Santa Barbara to secure at least a season series split against the Barons, having won earlier this month. Their last meeting in June is today. They'll also meet twice in July for a total of 4 meetings between the Barons and the Foresters. Broken bat. Newstrom charges. It's going to be tough and safe. Del VR is aboard. So Del VR, first hit of the game for the Barons on the infield single. And the batter's Nigel Buckley, the DH, with 1 on, 1 out. And the dirt and Del VR into scoring position. On the wild pitch, that gets rid of any ground ball double play. And this is an Academy Barons team. In their last game on the road, took down Orange County, won 3-2. A Barons team playing with a lot of confidence. Remember, OC is the second best team in the Southern Division currently. So went to the off day yesterday with a massive 3-2 victory over OC. And actually, the Academy has beat Orange County twice. And OC has been the only team that's beat the Foresters this season. Here's a 1-1. Left side. It's far, goes to third, and around the tag, and runners on the corners. So Buckley reaches on a fielder's choice. Del Villar gets around the tag, and he's standing on that third base bag. So far, electing to go to Schaefer. And Del Villar, the evasive maneuver to put runners on the corners for Antonio Lujan with one down. That's into left, and that ball is down and to the wall. Past Chamberlain. Del Villar's in. Buckley into third. He is out. And into second, Lujan, and the Barons strike first, 1-0. Now go down as a single into left. The RBI for Lujan, Playton Del Villar. Buckley attempted to go first to third, and he is retired at third for the second out. So 1 run in, 1 on, and 2 down. And the batter is Isaac Ocampo. Ball 1. Ocampo hitting 154. Entering today, he's brought home 4. And he's ahead 2-0. So the Barons strike first. When you look back to that first meeting on the 13th, it was Santa Barbara who put in the first run in the opening inning. Took the Barons to the 6th to plate their first run last time. Different story here. Schaefer across the diamond to retire the side. But the Barons strike first. Bottom of the second we go. Forster's bat down by 1.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Landon Schaefer leads off the second. Then Makani Nabarro, Addison Klepsch. Foresters down by 1. Last of the second. So Schaefer gets the start at third base today. Getting his first look at Gabe Lopez. And it hasn't been too often that the Foresters concede a run first. For the majority of the games this season, through their first 14, the Stars have been in the driver's seat the majority of the time. Remember, Santa Barbara has only lost 1 game. Twice they've entered the 9th trailing, I should say, and then end up walking it off. Cornelison and then also Brady Janusik have walk-offs this year. You win around 2-1. When Schaefer was last in the lineup on Saturday, was starting at short. He's at the 7th spot, batting 6th today and at third base. And that's a towering fly ball to left center. Lujan will be called off by Sawamura and allowed first out in the second.
Now batting, brought to you by Penny's Craft House. Number 7, Makani Nabarro.
It's now Makani Nabarro with 1 down, the base is clear. And Makani has been incredible this year. And a lot of guys been platooned in their respective positions this season. See Chamberlain getting the start in the left, Newstrom at second today. A lot of different moving pieces in this lineup that Bill Pintard has at his disposal day in and day out. Really deep 1 through 9. 2-1 on Nabarro, who's hitting .429 this year. Good count. 2-2. And if you were with us during the Forester pregame show presented by Coastal Copy, you heard Bill Pintard talk about and touch on what his team's been able to do in terms of also what they've been able to do on the hill, then also at the plate. Depth 1 through 9. Reaching for it. Espinosa. 2 down.
Now batting, brought to you by Santa Barbara Mayor Randy Rouse. Number 4, Addison Klepsch.
First pitch swinging for Klepsch, straight away to center field, going back, and that ball is at the wall. Klepsch off the first pitch, cruises into second, and a 2-out double for the DH. So just needing 1 pitch for Klepsch. Gets in the scoring position, gets on in front of Camberg. Aiden starting behind the plate today. What can he do? Brought home 2 runs this season. He's got number 3 over at second base. Opportunity to tie this game. Handled by Ocampo, ball 1. In the first 2 starts for Lopez, has not recorded a decision. 4th appearance, 3rd start for the left-hander. With his 2.70 ERA. And that's in there at 85, 1-1. Camberg behind the plate. Last game was caught by Zane Becker, and the game before that, Carter Rutenbar. And we're just discussing the depth at all the positions for the Foresters. Last game that Camberg caught was on the 18th. That was the Janusickle walk-off. And that's upstairs, 2-1. Should the inning continue, far on deck. Another ball over to Espinosa, and the Foresters strand Klepsch at second. The two-out double from the DH, left stranded after 2. Barons on top by 1.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Second game of the season. Into the third inning, Espinosa, Sawamura, and Mertz. 9-1-2 for the Academy Barons. 1 run on 2 hits in the previous inning to take a 1-0 advantage over the Foresters on this Tuesday afternoon. That's down, ball 1. Espinosa at the 9 spot. Hasn't played as many games for the Barons this season. In the right and easy for Ippolito. 2 pitches and Espinosa retired.
Now batting, number 9, A.G. Sawamura.
And back to the top of the lineup, A.G. Sawamura. Started off the ball game with an 8-pitch walk. Went down 0-2 and ends up getting the free pass. So a heck of a plate appearance from Sawamura. His first time. Gets his second look at Fowler. That's down 1-0. And for Fowler, the most innings pitched by any Forester pitcher so far this season. Got the ball on opening day, and has been a consistent starter. Bouncer to Newstrom. Handles the funny hop well, 2 out. And it's now Chip Mertz with 2 down, bases clear. Fowler got Mertz on a strikeout in the opener. Pan on the corner at 85 from Jack. Over to Newstrom once again. Can he recover? He can. And the Barons go in order. Pair of ground balls hit over to Newstrom and through 2.5. Barons on top by 1.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com. Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up! The story of America's most successful summer baseball team is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard.
For Ippolito Chamberlain, last of the third, Barons on top by 1 over Santa Barbara, and the switch hitter is going to get hit by a pitch. Ball in the dirt, grazes far, and he's on for the second time this ball game.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by altaorthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
So just like Farr started the opening inning of this ball game with a base hit, leads off in the third, gets on in front of Ippolito, lays it down. It's a good one, and Ippolito is aboard. He's now 2 for 2. The bunt single. We've touched on it past couple of games for the Foresters. The coaching staff and all the players really take pride in the bunting game. In certain situations, do things like that for Ippolito. Bunt for the single, or when they need to advance runners, get them on, get them over. A lot of pride for the Foresters in terms of handling the bat and laying down bunts. So a 2 on, nobody out. It's Chamberlain. And a balk's going to be called. So that puts 2 into scoring position. So no pitch to Chamberlain. Balk being called far over to third. Ippolito down to second. Infield in for the Barons, leading 1-0 in the third. Strike 1. Chamberlain in the hole, 0-2. After Chamberlain, Newstrom. The 0-2 struck him out, 1 away. Nasty pitch from Lopez.
Now batting, brought to you by Mesa Cafe. Number 30, Chris Newstrom.
So with 1 down, 2 in scoring position, the batter's Chris Newstrom. Singled his first time in a right. That was a first inning when the Foresters had 3 hits, but no runs to show for. Infield remains in for the Barons, trying to hold on to this 1-0 lead in the third. Ball one. Newsom gets ahead 2 balls and no strikes. A Foresters team that has won 9 straight games at home. They are 8-1. Second meeting of the year for the Barons and an opportunity to secure at least a season series split against the Barons this afternoon. Newstrom gets ahead 3-0. Salmon next with 1 down in the third. The left-hander gets himself back in the count. Lopez at 2.70 ERA through 10 innings so far this season. Worked around some hits. You work around the first 2 reaching along with the balk. Full count. Went to the breaking pitch. It's now 3-2 on Newstrom. Newstrom hitting 385, and when you look up and down this lineup, one of the better numbers on the lineup card in terms of average this season. Nabarro and Farr hitting over 400. Newstrom already singled his first time. That's ball 4. Loads him up with 1 down in the third. So with first base occupied, the middle infielders at double play depth for Nick Salmon. Lopez got him on a strikeout in the opening inning. That's another lefty-lefty matchup. That's right up the middle. Espinosa flips onto first, and they got them both. And a 4-6-3 double play gets Lopez out of the jam. The Foresters had him loaded, come up empty after 3. Barons by 1.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Fourth inning from Eddie Matthews Field. First pitch strike to David Aguirre, then Nathaniel Williams and Jason Delviar. If anyone gets on Buckley. For the Barons, some good defense by the Academy to keep it a 1-0 ball game as Fowler gets ahead 0-2 on the starting shortstop for the Barons. Aguirre 0 for 1. A fly out to left in the opening inning. Barons plated their lone run. That was in the second inning. The 0-2 from Fowler. Fly ball to short center, and it'll be far without number 1. So with 1 down, the batter is Nathaniel Williams. Jack Fowler got him on a ground out in the second. And Fowler now retiring 5 in order. Strike 1. And more of the same from Fowler. First pitch strikes on the Barons. And this is a Barons team hitting .259 entering this ball game. And if you're wondering, that is 7th best in the California Collegiate League. 0-2. And actually across the slash line for the Barons. On base percentage and slugging, also 7th best in the CCL. Williams sees one inside. Ball 1. The Foresters won the season series a year ago. Played 1 less time. Met 3 times. The Foresters won 2-1. That's a strikeout, 2 down. Second K for Mr. Fowler. And that brings his season total to 13. 1-0 record for Jack. See how long he can go into this ball game. Got the ball in opening day. End up going 5 on just 53 pitches. Was incredibly economical on opening day. And by the way, speaking of the Philippines will be in town tomorrow. And that meeting against the Philippines baseball group will be the final time the Foresters play the Philippines all year. It's a ball and strike on Jason Delviar. An infield singles last time came around to score. Strike 2. Hard hit chopper to Landon Schaefer and a laser to Nick Salmon to retire the side. Jack Fowler has now retired 7 in order, last of the 4th. Barons by 1.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com.
Barons on top 1-0 over the Sturs. Landon Schaefer, McConaughey Nabarro, and Addison Klepsch for the Sturs. Santa Barbara, the best team in the CCL South, 13-1 record. They have won 9 straight games, currently trailing the Barons in their second of 4 meetings this season. That's in there. Good change up from Lopez. Strike one. Schaefer in the hole, 0-2. Landon 0 for 1. Lopez got him on a fly out to center in the second. But it's the second straight time that Schaefer is leading off. The exact same batters were scheduled in the second. After going perfect last week and, of course, winning 9 straight, Santa Barbara and their manager, Bill Pintard, now with 1,200 career wins. And Bill Pintard touched on it in our pregame interview presented by Coastal Copy. We'd recommend, if you didn't hear it, definitely go back and hear the legendary manager, what he had to say. Got knotted up, and a strikeout starts the inning, 1 away. So Schaefer goes down looking, 1 away. And the batter is McConaughey Nabarro. And McConaughey hit on the helmet. Not the first time that's happening. Good to see him go down to first base. Nabarro hit by a pitch. And he gets on with one out in the inning. And McConaughey, rather than being hit up high, which has happened more than once now this season, has been a magnet for baseballs. So he gets on in front of Klepsch. Klepsch doubled off the first pitch his first time. Ball 1. Big hopper, and that's through for a base hit. Klepsch is 2 for 2. First and second with 1 out in the 4th. And here's Aiden Camberg. Nabarro, the lead runner, he can fly. An opportunity now for the Forsters. They had 3 hits in the first. They had them loaded in the last. And heading straight to the shoulder, Camberg will wear it down to first base, and the second hit batsman of the inning loads him up for the Forsters. And Camberg brushed it off like nothing happened. And the batter is Sawyer Farr. So the last 3 all reaching. And Farr is 1 for 1. He's been hit by a pitch, and Farr has been an on-base machine. Granted, Farr hasn't played in as many games as some of the other players, but on-base percentage of .667 entering this game, and he's reached safely twice. This is game number 7 for Sawyer this season. Strike 1 on a breaking pitch. 0-1. Five batted in this season for Farr. Comes the 1-1 from Lopez. That's a base hit. Nabarro's in. Kleps will be held at third base, and it's a tied game in the fourth. And Farr is now 2 for 2. Picks up RBI number 6. Tied game, and the Foresters looking for more. Now a visit to the hill for Gabe Lopez. He's been a reliable arm this season. But just a single out and the bases loaded. It'll be Kurt Ippolito, who's 2 for 2. Kurt now has 17 hits on the season. The most hits of anyone on this Forester team. What a year it has been for Ippolito. Lopez starts him off with the fastball down and away, 1-0. Now on the outside edge, 1-1. Ippolito last time against the Barons did not play. Batting second today. He's going to take a strike, 1-2. We've already touched on it. All the different guys that Bill Pintard has at his disposal this season. A lot of different guys that can play a lot of different positions. The 1-2. Right up the middle. Gloved onto second, onto first, and another double play turned by this Barons infield. They turned a 4-6-3 in the third, and now in the fourth, a 6-3 DP to limit the damage to 1. But Sawyer Farr brings home the tying run, and after 4, 1-1 ball game in Santa Barbara.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up, the story of America's most successful summer baseball team, is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link, or look us up on bookbaby.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Nigel Buckley, Antonio Lujan, and Isaac Ocampo for the Barons in a tied game in the fifth. And this fifth inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has 2 locations in Santa Barbara, one on Lower State Street and one in Goleta. Finney's, a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Finney's Craft House. First pitch was in there, swinging away at the second, and Buckley in the hole, 0-2. Nigel reached on a fielder's choice in the second, then was retired at third base, 8-6-5, when he attempted to go first to third on the double by Antonio Lujan. currently awaits on deck. It's another 0-2. Struck him out, one away. Third K for Fowler. He has now retired 8 in order. And the last man to reach base, about to dig in, Lujan. Doubled in the left, brought home Del Villar. At the time, it was the go-ahead run, but right now the game's tied. Strike one. A lot of first pitch strikes from Fowler today. 1-1. That big breaking ball is his second most used pitch this season. Fastball's off to the right now to play, strike two. So that fastball, which tops out around 89 for Jack, using just under 60% of the time. So heavy on the fastball, works in that breaking ball about 20% of the time. That 12-6 curveball. 2-2. And occasionally the slider and changeup as well. Lujan rolls it. Klepsch knocked it down, and Farr couldn't recover behind his man, and Lujan is on with one out in the fifth. And Lujan now 2 for 2. The double and an infield single, and he gets on in front of the catcher, Isaac Ocampo. Ocampo 0 for 1. Grounded out to third in the second. On the inside corner, strike one. And Fowler find a ground ball as defense go to work. Turn 2. 1-1. And by the way, the 2 double plays turned by the Barons, they have now turned 14 double plays as a defense, and they've played one less game than the Foresters. And for perspective, so the 14 DPs for the Barons, there have been 10 double plays turned for the Foresters this season. 2-1 now for Ocampo. Two and two. And Lujan, the first man to reach base since the second when he doubled. Not the biggest running threat. 2 stolen bases. Here's the 2-2. Jammed him, and it'll be Farr without number 2. So 2 down. That brings up the number 9 man, Israel Espinoza. Espinoza 0 for 1. Fly out to right. Ippolito's out there in right field today for the Sturs. Strike one. Slider missing down 1-1. This is a Barons team, when you look back to last week, went 3-2 in their 5 games being played, did not play on Friday. We've already touched on the Sunday matchup against the OC Riptide on the road, no less, for the Barons. Beat OC 3-2. And they also beat Conejo twice last week, so 2 tough teams. They found 3 victories against Conejo and OC. And a 3-1 count on Espinosa. full count. Top of the order on deck. Jack Fowler attempting to work around the infield single. The 3-2 to Espinosa. Espinosa starting at second base today. And he's been a big part of those double plays turned for the Barons infield. Lujan getting the head start with two down. Espinosa takes ball 4, and a 2-out walk continues the 5th inning. And it's back to the top for A.G. Sawamura. And here's Earl Carruthers, pitching coach for the Foresters. Everything mapped out this week. Tanner Grove, the expected starter tomorrow's ball game. And for the 3rd straight week, the Foresters playing 6 games. And all 6 games here at home. So if you're in the area, come check out the Foresters. They have been on a roll. Winning 9 straight Philippines tomorrow. Then the Slow Blues coming to town for the first time on Thursday. That's one circled on the calendar. And also the San Diego Waves, who the Foresters actually walked off the first time that they played them. We hear on Friday. And the Menlo Park Legends on this weekend. First and only meetings of the year against the Legends Saturday, Sunday. First and second, 2 down. Sawamura gets his 3rd look at Fowler. That's in there, strike 1. Sawamura 0 for 1. Jack got him on the ground out to second his last time. Worked a walk his first time, also stole a base. That is out of play. Back into the seats, strike 2. And remember, Sawamura was exactly in this position after 2 pitches to start the ball game and ends up working a walk on 8 pitches. Fouls off a couple and gets ball 4 to get the free pass. Fowler looking to dispatch man the top spot in the order. That's on the outside corner, and the side retired. Fowler works around a walk and a single. Bottom of the 5th we go. Tied ball game in Santa Barbara.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the 5th, Cole Chamberlain, Chris Newstrom, Nick Salmon tied ball game. Foresters Barons. Chamberlain is 0 for 2. Gabe Lopez back to work. Got Chamberlain on a strikeout in the last. Got him on a pop-up his first time. Strike 1. In the first meeting, Santa Barbara won 6-5, walked it off, but a back-and-forth game, especially late. An exchange of 3 spots in the 7th inning earlier this season, and Lopez continues to fill it up 0-2. Santa Barbara's had their opportunities getting base runners, but they've grounded into 2 double plays. And a strikeout starts the inning. 1 away. And the majority of the strikeouts for Lopez against left-handed hitters. The batter is Chris Newstrom. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. And a tied game in the 5th. And this 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's, 2 locations in Santa Barbara, 1 on Lower State Street and 1 in Goleta. Finney's a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Finney's Craft House. Ball and a strike on Newstrom. So Newstrom starting at second today. The middle infield has seen a lot of different moving parts. You look at actually just the last couple of games for Santa Barbara. On Sunday, Grease started at short. Farr was at second. As this is lined into left center field, into the gap. And Newstrom digs for 2, and he is now 2 for 2 with a 1-out double in the 5th. What a day so far for Newstrom in the scoring position for Salmon. Salmon scheduled, but it'll be Josh Woodworth to hit. So Woodworth to hit at the 5 spot for Salmon. Chance for the Foresters to take their first lead of the ball game. That's the local man, Woodworth. Hails from Ventura. That's on the inside corner. Strike 1. So Gabe Lopez threw 4 1/3. The 0-1 to Woodworth. 1-1. An early change for Bill Pintard as well. Going to the bench in the 5th. That's off to the right now to play strike 2. Handled by Ocampo, 2-2. And Josh Woodworth, this past year for Pepperdine, also spent some time on the hill, but a 2-time perfect game All-American and Max Preps All-American out of Ventura High School. Sees the 2-2 from Gabe Lopez. Struck him out. Ocampo is going to have a tough play, and Woodworth is at the plate. Into the plate comes Newstrom, and Woodworth is aboard on a drop third strike, and the Foresters take a 2-1 lead in the 5th. So the Sturs on top 2-1. Newstrom all the way to the plate from second. The batter's now Landon Schaefer with 1 on, 1 out, 1 run in. And Woodworth able to hustle down the line, get on base, and actually for the second straight game, a drop third strike. Happened on Sunday. The Slow Blues had a man get on via drop third K. Strike 1 on Landon Schaefer, who's 0 for 2. The Foresters, their first lead of this ball game. After they conceded a run in the second, scored 1 in the last. They've scored 1 here. Still just a single out in the inning. 1-1. Woodworth on the move, strike 2 on Schaefer. Schaefer went down looking against Lopez his last time, flew out to center. Another 2-strike count. 1-2. That's away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And so far in this game, there hasn't been a big impact on the Foresters' running game so far. League leading 61 stolen bases. There goes Woodworth, and it's a strikeout at the plate, and Woodworth is retired down at second. A strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. This third double play turned by this infield for the Barons, but the Foresters take the lead. Newstrom comes to the plate after his double, and after 5, Stars on top 2-1.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
On to the 6th inning pitching change for the Foresters. Caleb Hoover takes over on the hill after Jack Fowler ends up going 5. 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 punch-outs for the starter, in line for the victory. And Hoover will deal with 2, 3, and 4 Mertz Aguirre Williams for the Barons in a 2-1 ball game in the 6th. And for Caleb Hoover, 4th appearance this season on the hill. The two-way man has pitched 4 innings this season. 2 hits, just a single run, and has punched out 6 in the 4 innings that he has thrown. And the first pitch is lined and caught by Sawyer Farr. What a play over at short, 1 away. Sawyer Farr, fantastic over at short. Looked like that had base hit written all over it, but instead 1 down. And a first pitch strike on David Aguirre. Aguirre 0 for 2. Pop up and a fly out. And here's a fly ball into center and straight at Nabarro. 2 down. And the batter is Nathaniel Williams. We last saw Hoover pitch on the 17th. That was against the Philippines. In that game, Hoover closed it, pitched the final inning, and ended up striking out 3. There's also a walk sprinkled in there as well. That's into center and down for a base hit. And the 2-out knock for Williams continues the inning in the 6th frame.
Now batting for the Barons, number 23, Jason Delviar.
So 1 on, 2 down. And the batter is Delviar. First man to pick up a hit in this ball game. He's 1 for 2. And has scored the lone run on the board for the Barons. Williams has 2 stolen bases on the year, and for the running game for the Barons, they have been very selective but incredibly efficient. With the stolen base in the first, they are 35 for 36 this season. And that fastball at 90 in there, strike 1. And Hoover getting more and more comfortable, being back out on the hill for Santa Barbara. Great slider, strike 2. Delviar takes the ball, runners on the move, Farr the recipient, and they got him. Camberg throws him out, and Williams caught stealing to end the inning. Hoover and company work around the single through 5.5, stirs by 1.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Pitch and change for the Barons. Jaden Edwards, the right-handed reliever, takes over. And who hails from Los Angeles, is 6'1", 210. Right-handed reliever will deal with the bottom three. Navarro, Klepsch, and Camberg.
Number 7, Makani Navarro.
And the starter for the Barons, Lopez, on the hook. Going the first 5, giving up the 2 runs. That's right up the middle. And Makani is on to start the 6th.
Now batting, sponsored by the mayor, Randy Rouse. Number 4, Addison Klepsch.
So Navarro aboard safely for the 2nd time today. Here's Klepsch, who's 2 for 2. It's a good one. Williams charges and makes the play. 1 away. So the sacrifice for Klepsch.
Now batting, sponsored by Loris College. Number 12, Aiden Camberg.
1 down, Navarro down to 2nd. And the batter is Aiden Camberg. Camberg 0 for 1's been hit by a pitch. And he ended the top half of this inning. Threw out Williams at 2nd. That's something the Forsters have done pretty well this season in terms of throwing out base runners. That's in there at 85, strike 1. And just to put a number to the statement, entering this game, the Forsters, when a runner is taken off against them, they've been thrown out 53% of the time. Becker has the most runners that he's thrown out of anyone part of the catching core. And Camberg lasered down Williams for the 3rd out in the 6th. So after the sacrifice by Klepsch, here's a 1-1. And that's ball 2. Top of the order is on deck. The Forsters have scored a single run in the last 2 innings. Handled by Ocampo, 3-1. Ball 4, and Camberg aboard safely for the 2nd time this ball game to put 2 on, 1 out for the top of the order, and Sawyer Farr. Farr is 2 for 2. RBI, he's also been hit by a pitch in this ball game. Really up and down this lineup. A lot of men getting on base. The bottom and top have been exceptional getting on base in this game. First pitch swinging. Sawamura on the run, has out number 2. So 2 down. It's Kurt Ippolito.
Kurt Ippolito.
Kurt is 2 for 3. Single to center, bunt single. then rolled into a double play as last time. The lead runner is Nabarro. And with Nabarro at second, I have to imagine anything put in play. Third base coach, Coach Van Hook, sending Nabarro to the plate. The 1-0 from Edwards. That's away at 90-2-0. Velo inching up from Edwards. 91. So Edwards gets himself back in the count. 2-1. Fly ball to center, right to Sawamura, and the side retired. Edwards works around a leadoff single and a walk. Forster strand 2, and after 6, SB on top, 2-1 over the Barons.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Seventh inning from Eddie Matthews Field at Santa Barbara High School. Second meeting of the year between the Barons and the Foresters. SB on top 2-1 over the Barons. Hoover, 8 pitches in the last inning, back out there for the 7th. 5, 6, 7 for the Barons. Del Villar, Buckley, and Lujan. First pitch swinging, that ball is down the line, and Del Villar starts off the 7th with extra bases. Cruz is into second base first pitch, and a leadoff double for the Barons.
Number 16, Nigel Buckley.
So the leadoff double by Del Villar, Buckley, the DH, who's 0 for 2. The tying run on base for the Barons. Remember, Woodworth hit in the 5th. He took over at first base in the last half inning for Salmon. That's a high strike. 0-1. Ball and a strike on Buckley. Here's the 1-1. That's in there. Strike 2. There was a change in left field. Turner's out there in left. Here's the 1-2. And a foul tip, 1 away. First strikeout for Hoover.
Number 32, Antonio Lujan.
And the batter is Antonio Lujan, who is 2 for 2. With 1 on, 1 out, Lujan doubled his first time. Infield single his last time. Also drove home a run in the second. Can he do the same here in this 1-run game in the 7th? That's in the dirt. Camberg did just enough. It's now 1-1. And for Hoover, remember, an 8-pitch inning in the last. He was actually dealing with Del Villar before Williams was thrown out at second by Camberg. Lujan takes the ball inside, 2-1. Tying run scoring position for the Barons. Fastball at 90 on the big cut from Lujan, 2-2. Hoover in his 4th appearance this year has a payoff pitch coming up to Lujan. After Lujan will be Ocampo. Foresters lead 2-1 in the 7th. Started with a double. Buckley struck out. And back-to-back Ks for Hoover, 2 out. Huge for the man on the hill. That was strikeout number 8 for Hoover this season through 4 2/3, rather through 5 2/3. So 2 down, Del Villar at second. Ocampo rolls it to the left side, and Schaefer and Hoover works around a lead-off double. Fantastic work by the right-handed reliever. It's time to stretch, and Santa Barbara stirs on top by 1.
Thanks for listening. But how would you like to read about your favorite team? Hi, this is Jim Buckley, and I'm proud to announce the publication of our first book about the Foresters, Stir It Up! The story of America's most successful summer baseball team is out now. 100% of the profits from this new book will benefit the Hugs for Cubs. You can buy one at the ballpark or online. Visit sbforesters.org for a direct link or look us up on BookBaby theforesters.com. You can also pick up a copy locally at the Mesa Bookstore or Chaucer's or the Tecolote Bookshop. Stir It Up includes a complete history of the team from the founding by Bob Townsend in 1991 through all 10 national championships under Bill Pintard. You'll hear again from great Foresters players, read about the Hugs for Cubs, check out our all-time records, and much more. Help the Hugs and read Stir It Up. More info at sbforesters.org.
Last of the seventh, Foresters on top 2-1 over the MLB Academy Barons. It will be 3, 4, and 5, and actually the defensive change in left field was Carter Rutenbar, who entered in the last defensively for Cole Chamberlain. So Carter Rutenbar will lead off, hitting for the first time.
Number 8, Carter Rutenbar.
So Rutenbar, then Newstrom, and Woodworth. The scheduled 3 and a 2-1 game in the 7th. Jaden Edwards back to work. Edwards took over in the last. Worked around a leadoff single and a walk. First pitch is fair down the line, straight to Del Villar. The flip and out number 1. So, with 1 away, the batter is Chris Newstrom, who is 2 for 2, has walked and plated a run. It's getting late here in the second meeting between the Barons and the Sturs. The final meeting in the month of June, even though the month of June was slowly deteriorating. 23rd today, the Foresters playing their first of 6 home games this season, this week, I should say. Leading this one, strike 1 on Newstrom. And remember, the Foresters will have more games on the road in the month of July. Very home dominant June. And just, I believe, 1 or 2 more games on the road compared to the games at home. But this homestand, the heart of the season essentially for the Foresters at Eddie Matthews Field. Newstrom in the hole, 0-2. Great take by Newstrom, ball 1. There's a pinch hitter on deck. Wyland Nelson will have the 5 spot for Woodworth. Edwards, the 1-2 to Newstrom. Struck him out, 2 down. Fastball at 91 from the right-hander reliever. So the third hitter in the 5 spot in this ball game started with Salmon, 2 plate appearances. Woodworth, who ended up reaching when he struck out on a drop third strike. It's now Wyland Nelson.
Now pinch hitting for the Foresters. Number 28, Wyland Nelson.
So Nelson got the start at first base on Sunday's game at San Luis Obispo. First start since really the first week of the season for Nelson. Picked up a hit, an RBI, and scored a run. That was all in the fourth inning. In the fourth inning, that was big for the Foresters to make it at that point a 4-0 lead. The Blues did tack on some runs in the bottom half. But those runs in that fourth inning that Nelson was a part of were the winning runs for the Foresters on Sunday, and Bill Pintard's 1,200th career win with the Santa Barbara Foresters. It's a 1-1. And the dirt, ball 2. For Nelson this past year with Santa Barbara City College, the SoCal City College Player of the Year. He's a two-way guy. He's just been at the plate this season after pitching over 100 innings with SBCC this past year. That's into foul ground, the left side, and Williams has a play at it, makes the catch over his shoulder like a receiver. The side retired. And this game heads to the 8th. Sturs by 1.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara Airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara Airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Eighth inning, Foresters on top 2-1 over the Academy Barons. Pitching change. Hoover went the last two. Carter Spites takes over on the hill for Santa Barbara. Nelson, who pinch hit, remains in this game. He is at first base. And it looks like the inning will start off with the pinch hitter. Scheduled is Espinoza, Sawamura, and Mertz.
Now hitting, number 47, Jackson Tyler.
Jackson Tyler hits out of the 9 spot for Espinoza. So Spites facing the pinch hitter. Strike one, and that bat goes sailing into the fence over the third base on deck circle. Strike one. No collateral damage. Everyone's okay. No one really around where that bat landed, and it's 0-1. For Spites. Third appearance this season. He's gone 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 punch-outs for the right-hander. Deuces a ground ball straight to Newstrom. One away. And it's back to the top.
Now batting, A.G. Sawamura.
Eiji Sawamura, who is 0 for 2 with a walk, stole a base, gets his first look at Spites. Carter spending this past year. UC Davis. To the left side, Spites going to do it himself, makes the play, but safe over at first base. Sawamura is able to get on. The throw is on the plate side of the bag.
Now batting for the Barons.
And a bunt single with one down in the 8th. So with 1 on, 1 out, Chip Mertz, ball upstairs. Fly ball into left, easy for Rutenbar, and he has out number 2. And by the way, it goes down as an E1 on Sawamura.
Now batting, number 20, David Aguirre.
But now with 2 down, Sawamura at first. The batter is David Aguirre. Aguirre 0 for 3. Tying run on base for the Barons in the 8th. Ball 1. And Spite spending all 3 years with in his collegiate career, UC Davis, hails from Tustin, south where we are in Santa Barbara. 2 balls and 1 strike on Aguirre. Past year with the Aggies, 20 innings of work for Carter. Majority of the time was out of the bullpen. Did have 2 starts for Davis. Amassed a 2-3 record. 2-2. Spites trying to work around the error. The 2-2 to Aguirre. Off the end of the bat, we'll do it again. If you're wondering, the Sturs have 6, 7, and 8. Schaefer, Nabarro, Klepsch in the last of the 8th inning. As it stands, it's a 1-run lead for the Foresters. The tying run on base for the Barons. Sawamura, good runner at first. 2-2. That is the line, and a base hit. Sawamura first to third, and he is over to third base. Runners on the corners. So Aguirre, a clutch 2-out knock to continue the inning. And the tying run 90 feet away for the Barons, and the batter is Nathaniel Williams. Williams singled his last time. He's 1 for 3. And Earl Carruthers to have a conversation with the infield. And Spites. And just 2 ground balls to the first 2 men he faced. The error, the fly out, and now the base hit from Aguirre. First and third. Tying run at third base for the Barons. The lone run for the Barons was in the second. Run in the fourth and the fifth for Santa Barbara to make it a 2-1 lead. Strike one on Williams. The most traffic for the Barons since that second inning. They had a couple scattered hits. Hoover worked around a leadoff double in the last. 1-1. A Barons team that's fresh off a win against the OC Riptide on the road, winning 3-2. That was on Sunday and handed the Riptide just their fourth loss of the season. Strike two. A week last week where the Academy went 3-2. Win on Wednesday against the Oaks, the Conejo Oaks, also on Saturday. So 2 wins against Conejo last week, a win against OC. 1-2 is a foul ball. And it was close. First base umpire. That ball was just inches outside the chalk line. And likely that would have given the Barons the lead with Aguirre at first. That ball was going straight to the corner. But it's another 1-2 pitch to Williams. Bounced. Here is Newstrom. And Spites works around the error and the single. We're going to the last of the 8th inning. Foresters bat on top by 1.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com. Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Pitch and change for the Barons. Holden Hungerford, the left-hander, takes over. He will deal with Schaefer, Nabarro, Klepsch, 6, 7, and 8 for the Foresters in a 2-1 ball game. First time that these two teams met, Hungerford was on the hook for the loss. He entered with the tying run on base, rather the winning run on base. And Cornelison walked it off against Hungerford, just recorded a single out in the 2 men that he faced. And Schaefer gets ahead 2-0. Will be a pinch hitter on deck for Nabarro. Brady Janusik to hit out of the 7 spot. And 3 straight bowls from Holden Hungerford. After the last 2 were dealt by Jaden Edwards after Gabe Lopez went the first 5 for the Barons. That is ball 4 and a 4-pitch leadoff walk for Schaefer. Starts the 8th for the Foresters.
Sponsored by Mesa Cafe.
Can SB find some insurance heading towards the 9th? It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for the Barons in the 9th inning. So Janusik pinch hitting for Nabarro, who will go 1 for 2. Scored a run. Ball 1, 5 straight balls from Hungerford since taking over. Runners on the move. Schaefer, a late jump. He is out. What a recovery and a throw down by Ocampo, and Schaefer after the 4-pitch leadoff walk. Erased, caught stealing 1 away. It was a late hop from Schaefer, and he is thrown out. And Hungerford the 2-0. And a fly ball to left to Lujan. Without number 2. So what a turn of events. There's a 4-pitch walk. Janusik ahead 2-0. Hungerford hadn't even thrown a strike. And just like that, base is clear, 2 down. And the batter is Addison Klepsch, 2 for 2. Last time, laid down a sack to advance Nabarro into scoring position. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. And again, projecting into the 9th, Delviar, Buckley, Lujan, the scheduled batters for the Barons, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. There's a 2-1 lead, and Klepsch ahead 2-0. So for the 2nd straight game, this one's coming down to the wire. The Foresters walked off the Barons their first time that they met on the 13th. Strike 1 on Klepsch. On the outside corner, 2-2. A strikeout ends the inning. Holden Hungerford just has to face the minimum, works around a leadoff walk. We are headed to the 9th. Foresters on top, 2-1.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Ninth inning, 2-1 ball game. Sturs on top of the Barons. Carter Spites took over in the last, worked around an error, worked around a hit. Del Villar, Buckley, Lujan, the scheduled hitters. In a one-run game in the ninth. Del Villar is 2 for 3 in this game. And Del Villar has played the lone run for the game for the Barons. Last pitch at 93 from Spites, ball 1. Two and 0. Del Villar, in terms of a single swing, he's got the most pop in the bat from anyone in this lineup. 2-0. And spun out of there 3-0. So Spites, who entered in the 8th, falls behind 3-0 to Del Villar. That's in there at 93, 3-1. The Foresters 3 outs away from securing at least a season series split against the Barons and winning their 10th straight game. That's ball 4. And a leadoff walk starts the 9th for the Barons.
Now batting for the Barons, number 16, Nigel Buckley.
So the tying run on base. And a pinch runner is going to be brought in. It's Boatinghouse running at first base. So Boatinghouse in to run. They check over to him. And Del Villar, what a day at the plate, 2 for 3 with a walk. And his walk representing the tying run in this ball game. Spites trying to work around it, dealing now with Nigel Buckley. That is a fair ball. Schaefer to first, and a nice pickup by Nelson. The throw was shallow, but out. 1 away. Huge play by Nelson. Shoveling up the shallow throw, but the tying run now into scoring position. And the batter is Antonio Lujan. Lujan 2 for 3. Has an RBI. Tying run in scoring position. That's in there, strike 1. Lujan's last time Hoover got him on a strikeout looking. But he's doubled into left center. And an infield single. The 0-1. That's going to hit him to put 2 on with 1 down in the 9th.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
The batter is Isaac Ocampo. But now with first base occupied, a ground ball to end this game for Spites. And here's Earl Carruthers. An inning and a third so far for Carter. Ocampo 0 for 3. With the tying run in scoring position at second. Remember, it's the pinch runner Boatinghouse being brought in after Del Villar worked a leadoff walk in the 9th. Even when you look back at the games last year, the last two meetings, there's a 3-0 win for the Barons, 3-0 win for the Sturs. The first game was decided by 1 run. And right now, that's where the Foresters lead by 1. That's down 1-0 for Ocampo. That's into the backstop. And 2 into scoring position. And that gets rid of any ground ball double play. Infield in for the Foresters in a 1-run game in the 9th. That's in there at 92, 2-1. And Spites bear down and get himself out of this hole. Strike 2. By the way, Sean Ishii standing on deck. Took over defensively in the last half inning. Spites 1 good pitch away from the second out. Ocampo sees ball 3, full count. The lead runner is Boatinghouse. That is caught, and they double him up. Oh my goodness, and the ball game is over. A rocket to Schaefer, and they double off the runner at third base to turn 2, and that's the ball game. The line out by Ocampo to Schaefer, and Schaefer doubles up Boatinghouse at third. Ball game over. That ball was a rocket off the bat. Almost couldn't even see it leaving the plate, and Schaefer makes the play and the double play to end the ball game. A hard hit ball by Ocampo. And the DP by Schaefer. The tying run was at third base, and Spites will pick up the save in this one. Jack Fowler picks up his second win of the season, and the Foresters secure at least a season series split against the Academy Barons. They'll meet twice in the month of July, and for the second straight meeting, the Barons and the Foresters, the ball game decided by just a single run. Well, we appreciate you sticking with us. The Foresters have now won 10 straight games. They are 14-1, leading the CCL South, and the Foresters continue to chug along in a massive win today and a good win against the Academy Barons. Fowler gets the win, Spites gets the save, and tomorrow the Philippines in town to take on the Foresters. If you're in the area, the Sturs at home all the way until Sunday. Still 5 more games left in this homestand. Be sure to come on out and support the Foresters, their longest homestand of the year. Once again, the final score, Foresters 2, Barons 1, and Santa Barbara have now won 10 straight games. For the entire team, the entire staff, for Bill Pintard, I am Hunter Shoemake saying so long from Santa Barbara. We'll see you tomorrow when the Philippines in town take on the Foresters. First pitch scheduled for 4:30 Pacific time.